welcome to this week's edition of Boxing Pick, the premier destination for boxing picks. My name is Hisham, and in this video we're going to be talking about two upcoming fights where we found some very good value. First of them, the main event in Philadelphia this Saturday, Jaron Ennis takes on David Avanesyan. Boots is of course a very big favorite, but we did manage to find some good value in that fight. And we're also going to be looking at an undercard fight from Las Vegas on the undercard where Janibek Alimhanullah makes his comeback to the ring to defend his middleweight championship. And on the undercard there will be a fight between Raymond Muratalla when he takes on tough veteran Tevin Farmer in a very, very interesting fight. Muratalla is a very big favorite. We don't think that's really justified, and there is some very good odds on Tevin Farmer to be had. If you're with us now, we'd like to thank you, and thank you for listening. The last time around, we got some very nice messages from you guys. We gave you a pick for Coran Davis to beat Elijah Garcia. That was a very tremendous upset, around a plus 1,000, give or take, on different sports book. Coran Davis happens to be trained by my partner for this show, Stephen Breadman Edwards, so we got some very good insight, and we all turned out very good from that fight. So that was incredible, and we hope you also get a piece of that score. This week, let's see where the value is. Let's get started. I'm joined by my partner, one of the greatest boxing minds we have in our sport, Stephen Breadman Edwards. Stephen, we have an interesting weekend coming up. Jaron Ennis takes on late replacement David Avanesyan. How do you see this fight playing out?
Spectacular knockout for Ennis.
What do you think about Avanesyan? He's been in some tough fights before. It's been durable sometimes.
I do, but I just think Ennis is he's just a electrifying knockout artist.
Yes. Do you think the time off the ring for Boots will affect him in any way, having been out for 1 year?
It's hard to say. You don't know until the guy gets in the ring, but I think he'll overcome it if there is any ring rust.
Sometimes with some guys you just don't see the ring rust. When Canelo Alvarez was out for a few years ago, he looked spectacular. Many guys do, and some guys do look rusty sometimes. What do you think that depends on?
And sometimes it's a fight-by-fight thing. Sometimes you can have a fighter who, some layoffs he comes back sharp, and other layoffs he doesn't. It just depends on what he's doing in between camps.
Mm-hmm. And compared to Terence Crawford's effort when he fought Avanesyan, do you think that Boots in his team, they look at that and they think that they would like to do better? Do you think that's something that's been on their mind?
I'm sure they do. I mean, it's always a comparison when you fought, when you have a common opponent of a top pound-for-pound fighter and a fighter that you are looking to fight.
Yes. It took Terence Crawford 6 rounds, I believe. Before that fight, David Avanesyan was actually on a pretty good run. He fought some UK fighters that were two guys that were favored against him, and he knocked them out, both of them. And then Crawford, he handled business, and he stopped him in 6 rounds. And it was a devastating knockout that Crawford gave him.
Yeah, I saw that fight.
So you seem very confident he gets him out of there. The line for the Boots to win by knockout is minus 600, but it feels like a thing that should occur, right?
Yes, I'm very confident that he's going to get him out, and I'm relatively confident that he'll get him between 1 and 6.
That's very interesting, Stephen, because I noticed that the odds for Jaron Ennis to win the fight between rounds 1 and 6, it seems decent. You can get that at minus 125. Jaron Ennis to win in rounds 1 to 6. Do you think that's more likely than the later rounds?
Yes.
All right. So final word: Jaron Ennis to win by knockout and also to win within the first 6 rounds. 2 bets.
Yes.
Excellent. There you heard it. Jaron Ennis to win this fight by knockout. You can get that at a minus 600 or 1.16 in decimal odds. Or to win in rounds 1 to 6, minus 125. All right, we're going to move on to our second fight for this week. We will see Raymond Muratalla take on his toughest challenge so far in his career when he fights Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer, Stephen, was out for around something like 3 years between 2020 until 2023. He's had 2 or 3 fights since then against lower opposition, and he's back now on the big stage. How do you see this fight playing out?
I'm very curious to see who the judges will be, because I think it's going to come down to that. I think that Tevin Farmer's best chance to win the fight is by decision, and I feel like that if the judges are fair, he does have a shot. We've seen some pretty poor scoring lately, especially with my fighter Karan Davis. There was a judge that gave Elijah Garcia the fight 98-92, which is unjustifiable. So when you're dealing with the A side, you have to deal with the judges. But I feel like Tevin Farmer is going to win the fight by decision, upset.
That's very interesting, Stephen. If we just start 1 second with Raymond Muratalla, he's 20-0 with 16 knockouts. What have you seen of him? He looks powerful. He looks strong.
He looks strong, but I think he lacks a little bit of imagination. I think he's a little bit rigid, and I think that he's not hard to time. I think that Tevin Farmer, if he's right, which I heard he had a good camp, I think Tevin Farmer wins the decision, but he's going to need fair judges.
Yeah, I understand.
Because I don't think it's going to be a dominant decision where, he's just going to need fair judges. So I'm looking forward to seeing who the judges are. Once I know who the judges are, I can feel better with the pick. But if I'm assuming that the judges are fair and objective,
the line for this fight is Raymond Muratalla. He's a very big favorite, minus 1,200. Tevin Farmer, you can find at around a plus 750. Does that not seem like a very wide line to you?
Yes, I like Farmer to win the fight.
It's a very, very big line. Very big line they have for Muratalla. And he's really never faced anyone like Tevin Farmer. The same thing we said when we were talking about Elijah Garcia. He had never faced anyone like Karan Davis. The same thing can be said about Muratalla. He's certainly never seen anyone in a real fight that resembles Tevin Farmer. The slickness, the good accuracy, things like that.
Yes.
And don't forget, some people think that Tevin Farmer, has gotten very old. He's only 33 years old. Do you view him as an older shot fighter?
He's older, but I don't view him in shot. There's a difference.
Yeah.
I think he's very capable.
I saw an interview with him from yesterday. He says that he feels better at 35. He feels better than he's done in years. I know a lot of fighters say that, but I took him for his word. He seems very sincere. He seems like a very sincere, nice, humble fighter. He says that he feels better than he's done in many years, and he's very, very confident. I like his chances too. One thing for sure, the line shouldn't be as wide. I'm not saying either that Tevin Farmer should be the favorite, of course, but there seems to be tremendous value in Tevin Farmer to win the fight.
I agree.
Should we hedge Tevin Farmer, with a draw? Do you think this fight can end in a draw?
It's a possibility. It's a
10-round fight. Makes it more likely for the draw. It's just those last 2 rounds we don't get.
It's a possibility.
Do you like to add that, or should we just go with Tevin Farmer to win the fight?
I just like Farmer to win, man. That's my pick. I like Farmer to win the fight by decision.
All right, let's go with that. I like the decision too. I do not see him getting to him, in a way that he hurts and stops the bigger Muratalla. I think if he is to win, he has to be very smart for the whole fight and outbox him. And if he does that, he certainly can win if he gets a fair shake with the judges. Tevin Farmer to win the fight by decision is a plus 1,500, Stephen. Does that sound good? All right, everybody.
Take
You
it.
heard it there. Tevin Farmer has an excellent chance. There's tremendous value. Tevin Farmer to win the fight by decision, you can find currently at a plus 1500. We believe he has a very good chance to do it. Thank you very much for this weekend, Stephen Breadman Edwards. Thank you and see you next week. That's it for this week. Jaron Ennis to win his fight by knockout, minus 600 in decimal odds around 1.16. We also like the Jaron Ennis to win the fight in rounds 1 to 6. That seems to be very good value, minus 125 or 1.80 in decimal odds. The other fight, Tevin Farmer versus Raymond Muratalla. Tevin Farmer, we like him to win by decision. Excellent chance that that can occur. Plus 1500 or 16 in decimal odds. That's an incredible value right there. That will be it for this week. We thank you all for being here. We appreciate every single one of you. Like I said, this channel is going through some very big improvements in different aspects. We're going to be giving out more content, and like I said, we appreciate you guys very much. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. That helps us grow very much. Next week, we're going to be breaking down the big fight card from Los Angeles, August 3rd. We're going to do it early. There's some very nice value also there. Good luck for this weekend and see you next week.